the news. Everybody's gonna be voting blue. Yeah, that's right, you know it's true. Everybody's gonna be voting blue. If you know what's good for you, then you better get out and vote blue. Yeah, if you know what's good for you, you better get out and vote blue. No matter what you do.
It's time for the Trucker John live stream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah. The Trucker John live stream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time, good time. Trucker John live stream. Gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit. Hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Well, yeah, it's the Trucker John live stream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John live stream is the best thing you've ever seen. Shots of the Trucker John live stream, on a good time. Oh yeah, the Trucker John live stream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time. The Trucker John live stream is gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit, hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Oh yeah, it's the Trucker John live stream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John live stream is the best thing you've ever seen.
It's time for the Trucker John live stream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah, the Trucker John live stream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time. Trucker John live stream. It's gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit, hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Oh yeah, it's the Trucker John live stream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John live stream is the best thing you've ever seen. It's time for the Trucker John live stream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah, the Trucker John live stream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time. Trucker John live stream. It's gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit, hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for. Trucker John.
Let's turn that mic on. Good morning, everybody. I was just trying to finish up my breakfast. Oh, not quite made it. Anyhow, good morning, everybody. We got people coming in the chat here still. Looks like Roxanne Armfield was first in the chat. Good morning, Roxanne. And MJ Daniels here. Jupiter Judy is in the driver's lounge today. And let me make sure this volume is off. Let's see here. Yeah. Let's see. Carrie C is here. Fancy. Good to see Fancy. Good morning, everybody. Walter Makarovich is here. Walter says good morning, Sugar John, and to all 10 hours to go till the beginning of the end for Trump and Project 2025. And let's see, Jackie's here. Hello, Jackie. Nick Rich is here. Who says I'm here. Good day, everyone. Even with only a handful here, it'll take me a while to greet everyone. How about Teresa first? And there is 100 greeter TK, aka Teresa. Doug G's in the house. Everyone there is just greeting everybody. Greetings. Uh-oh. We got some kind of lawnmower action, which is really odd because this courtyard, really all it is dirt. There's a couple little patches of weeds that I guess if you mow it, it might look like grass. So it shouldn't take very long because there's literally like two little patches. So hopefully he'll be out of here soon. Let's see, who else is here? Arizona Sunflowers is here. Good to see you, Arizona Sunflowers. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for being here. Let's see, who else? Man, I gotta talk to the landscaping service and tell them not to ever do this during my show. Licorice, is it possible to keep on topic today? Well, we're always on topic because there really is like no topic other than we just talk. We just meander through whatever we go through. Arizona Sunflowers says, yeah, the debate, I'm still thinking Trump's going to weasel out of it somehow. I guess that's the big question, huh? Will Trump show up? I think he's screwed if he doesn't, because that'll just look weak, and he's supposed to be the strong man, right? So I think if he doesn't show up, he's going to look like a weasel. If he does show up, he's going to look like the raving lunatic that he is. You know, he's going to have the rambling word salad. You know, who knows if he's going to go off talking about sharks and batteries and shit, you know. So either way, I would say, I don't know, I'm just thinking that Trump is not going to come away winning points for this. Either way. You know, but we'll see. I guess that's why we're all sort of anxious to see what happens, you know. This coffee is still very hot. But we shall see what we shall see. Let's see now. Do you guys want to watch this? I just downloaded this. I was watching it earlier. Or maybe I'll add a couple things here. Yeah, we'll do this here. We could add a few things. Whoops. Okay, so if we go to the studio and if we add this, this is from Rachel Maddow. Let's check this out.
I mean, this is something where there again is an observable truth here. Under Joe Biden, we just had the best year of American job creation in the 21st century. The last time we had a streak this long of unemployment below 4%, it was the early 1960s. Under Joe Biden, the U.S. has the best economy in the world, literally the envy of the world. In fact, the World Bank just said that the U.S. economy is so good, it's actually stabilizing the whole world economy. The U.S. stock market keeps hitting new records and then breaking those records and then hitting new ones that are even higher. Crime is at 50-year lows. We just had the largest single-year drop in the murder rate that we have ever recorded. And President Biden keeps signing big legislation that's good for the economy, that's good for the business climate. And he has been able to do it, miracle of all miracles, with bipartisan support. And that includes the big infrastructure bill and domestic manufacturing of computer chips and all of these other things. I mean, this is the kind of business landscape hellscape business leaders have been suffering through under Joe Biden. Headlines like these. Corporate profits hit record high as economy boomed in fourth quarter of 2023. Or this one. U.S. corporate profits soar with margins at widest since 1950. Or this one. Money Watch. U.S. companies just had their best year since before most of us were born. Oh, the poor business guys. They really need Trump back, don't they? And even if they want to say, oh, it's not about the business climate, it's about being fiscally responsible. It's just that we're so worried about the debt and the deficit, and that's why we want to go back to Trump and get rid of Joe Biden. I mean, tell me what the rationale is there in reality. Tell me what the rationale is. Because the Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget, one of these nonpartisan fiscal watchdog groups, put this out today, which kind of puts a fine point on it, right? That's who added what to the debt when you compare Trump's term in office with Joe Biden's term in office. And no, you can't blame COVID. They actually break out the COVID spending. That's the bit in the lighter red color there. So yes, Donald Trump and Joe Biden both spent on the pandemic. They had to. But even if you wipe that out, Trump added trillions more to the debt and the deficit than Biden did, regardless of COVID. And maybe you don't particularly care about the deficit and the debt, but business guys almost always say they do. And so what's the rationale along those lines for supporting Trump over Biden?
I was able to finish my breakfast while we watched that clip. But the important thing about that, those are that's the measures we need to get out. When people say, well, what has Biden done? What has he done to deserve a second term? What's so great about Biden? That clip, that's what's so great about Biden. amongst other things. But that's the message we need to keep getting out. All of this great economy, all the accomplishments about the economy, turning the economy around, and and showing what a complete fuck up and disaster that Trump was and will be again. It's between these economic numbers and Rovember. Those are the two things that I think are going to secure. I don't know if secure is right, but it's going to get a victory for Joe Biden. So that's what I'm going to try to. I'm going to try to just put out these sort of positive messages about Joe Biden and how much he's accomplished and how what good he's done for this country. All the jobs coming back. I mean, my God, bringing industries back, bringing industries that were overseas that we thought we would never get back again, and they're coming back here. So, I mean, it's really remarkable. I mean, I remember back in 2020 and 2020 campaign, and Joe was running, and I was like, no, please, no, not Joe. I was one of those people. I was like, hey, just stay retired, Joe. You don't need to come back out. And I ended up voting for him, of course, in the general. In the primary, I voted for Elizabeth Warren, who I think is great. And she may have been a great president, but I just don't think she certainly is a great senator, and she certainly is great on economic issues, consumer protections, and all those type of things that she does. She is wonderful. But I don't know if she would have been as good as Joe Biden, because he has a lot of experience, a lot more experience. And it shows right now, it's showing right now, all of his experience. So there's something to be said about age. I know a lot of people are like, oh, he's too old. But along with that age comes wisdom. And we're seeing him use that wisdom and put it to use in running this country. So, that's what we need to say. When people say, what has Joe Biden done? Watch that clip over and over and over again and memorize those numbers and all those accomplishments with the economy. Our economy is so good that we are actually helping to stabilize the whole rest of the world. So, America is important. The United States of America, we are so important to the rest of the world. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. It's like when we try to do these, environmental changes, and we're trying to get off of fossil fuels, and we're trying to go more to a green, renewable energy. And of course, someone from the right will say, well, China's going to just keep polluting anyhow. So it doesn't matter. Well, it does matter. It does matter, because people will follow us. They will follow suit. The rest of Europe will, and I mean, they're ahead of us probably right now because of all the Republicans that we've had in office since Reagan that have really, taken us steps backwards. But we can lead the way, and it does make a difference. And we do, when we have good presidents and good policies and good things going on, the rest of the world will see that. So anyhow, that's why Joe Biden is going to get my vote. Is because he's doing a really great job. He's doing a great job with the economy, and he's done a great job. I mean, he came in, did a great job with COVID. We had the bumbling, stumbling Trump, just fucking everything up. And when Biden got in office, we saw how it's supposed to be done. We saw how a pandemic is supposed to be handled. And we saw the numbers start coming down. We saw people getting vaccinated more and more, and the COVID cases coming down. MJ Daniel says, get through the next 4 years with President Biden and a dim majority, then worry about the next dim president later. Yep, but then we got to keep it going. I don't want. I'm so sick and tired of this back and forth bullshit. You know, I'm so sick and tired of it. Well, we get Democrats in there, and we, like I said, we get the economy going, we get things going. Then Republicans come in and they fuck it all up. They just tear it all down and they crash the economies. And then we got to get back in and we got to clean up and all that shit. Come on, guys, aren't you sick of it too? I know probably you in the chat are, but you, America, aren't you sick of it? Aren't you sick of this back and forth bullshit? So let's get just a good run of Democrats in the White House, in Congress. You know, let's get Alito and Thomas, and I think Kavanaugh should be out too. I mean, he's not legitimate. Someone paid off his $500,000 worth of debts magically. So he's obviously in someone's pocket. Let's get the Supreme Court. I guess I'm still a little groggy this morning, but let's get them going. Let's get it going, and let's get into the next 40 or 50 years of democratic rule, of democratic control, democratic majority. And I know the right wingers, they hate that. I know my brother and sister, they hate that when I say control and power, because they're like, oh yeah, you're just into power and all this stuff, and you want to control us. Of course, that's who they vote for. They vote for controlling, maniacs like Trump, who really do just want to be dictators. I'm not talking about dictators when I talk about control. I'm talking about the majority, having a majority in a vote in the Congress is what I'm talking about. So we can get things done. We can get good, meaningful things done instead of just lowering taxes on the uber rich and doing away with regulations. That's all the Republicans are in existence for those oligarchs. Nick Rich says the USA has been a beacon on a hill for all those that seek for a better life. Folks still search for it when it dims. Fancy's sick of it. I'm sick of it about this back and forth stuff. Roxanne Arfield, I agree, Tim, regarding Hal and Bob. Oh, I must have missed what you said about Hal and Bob. But I like Hal and I like Bob. Oh, here's Tim. Says Bob Sesko has a brilliant takedown of Trump and Republicans' economic policies. He is so smart. I wish Hal had him on more. Yeah, I like Bob Sesko. Big Hook, the Big Canuck is here. Says the delay denied distract Supreme Court is fully revealed on show for their billionaire masters, disgraceful and not serving the American public. I know all of the Republicans on there are disgraceful. But if we could at least get rid of, Alito and Thomas for sure. We that should be a no-brainer. We see that they are on the take, and and it's funny how you notice how they have this new ruling about saying that if you give money to a politician, I guess after they do something for you, that's not a bribe, that's a tip, and it's almost like they're covering their own asses to say to extend that to the Supreme Court. Like, yeah, if they give us something, after a case is adjudicated or after a case is heard, that would be a tip. Well, you know what? You're not supposed to tip your judges. You're not supposed to tip your elected officials. You can give them a campaign donation, but you're not supposed to give them extravagant gifts, and you're not supposed to give SCOTUS anything really. Sehal says, "Holy penile implant is Trucker John." Hey, Sehal, good to see you. Tim Farrell says, "Take your debate performance enhancing shot, Trucker John, before your streams." Yeah, I need to get jacked up. I'm not jacked up yet. I should have got jacked up, man. Just about a stupid phone call come in. But who says jacked up like that anyhow? I mean, that's not even what that means. Like, I mean, I always thought when someone says they're jacked up, it's like they're using steroids or something. That's, to me, that's what jacked up is. But, you know, for weightlifting and shit. But whatever. You know, Trump's an idiot. Sayhouse says, anyone taking bets? I'm betting Trump gonna get frustrated and walk off the debate and make a show of it. I would take that bet because I don't think he's gonna do that. I think he's gonna show up and I think he's gonna try to answer all the questions and he's gonna look like a buffoon. But I don't think he's gonna walk out. I don't think so. Nick said, you'll win that bet if anyone takes it. Uh-oh. I said I would take it. Well, you think he's going to, Nick, so you think he's going to walk off also? You think he's going to show up and then get frustrated and walk off the debate and make a show of it? I don't think he's going to do that. Mr. Spagas here, I'm not even going to repeat what you said because it's just disgusting. Sayha says he might not show. Well, that's what we started off talking about, was whether or not he was going to show or not. But I think he's going to show up, because if he doesn't show, that would, I think, not showing up at this point would be worse than whatever he's going to do at the debate. Because not showing up will just make him look like an extreme pussy. Not nothing against pussies, but you know, and if he does cancel, then I think all of us, and I mean you, me, that you're in the chat, every Democrat, every Biden supporter needs to just not let him ever live it down, and just excoriate, I think that's the word, him for being just the ultimate fucking wuss. I guess I'll say wuss instead of pussy. But because pussies can be pretty durable, I think. But, and I don't think Trump is. So just a wuss. He just, don't let him live it down. But what a fucking wussy he would be that he couldn't even make it to the debate because he was too afraid to show up. So if he doesn't show up, I think that will make him look worse. Big Hook says Gorsuch is the illegal holdout via Kavanaugh sexual assault and pliable via gambling debts and mortgage. Cody Barrett was another McConnell scam forced in. That was Biden's pick. Biden didn't have a pick. Biden hasn't had a pick. Did he? Oh, was she put in when Biden first came in, I guess? No, that was Trump's pick. Trump got 3, right? Through. He got Kavanaugh and Coney Barrett, right? And who else did he get? Did he get Gorsuch too? So Biden got Jackson, right? Nick Rich says, my opinion, DJT will do some kind of craziness. Well, he can't help it. He's gonna look like a crazy fool. He's gonna do some crazy foolish shit. That's what it's gonna be. Say how? What time is it scheduled for? I believe. I thought it was 9 p.m. Pacific time. I mean, Eastern time, which seems late. Doesn't that seem late to start a debate at 9 in the evening? Because I think it's going to be 6 o'clock here. I thought in the Pacific time zone. That just seems late to me. That it seems like they would start it at 8 their time. But I think it says 9. Someone else can probably check that out for us. Big Hook says, "Morning, everybody. Running cats and dogs here in Vancouver." Oh yeah, I didn't really do a time check. So here we are. It's already 9:38 in the Pacific time zone, and according to my watch, it's only 96 degrees. I say only because the other day it was already like over 100, I think, when we started. Our high is supposed to be 107. So we're at 96. Rock says Jackson, I believe, trucker. Yeah, I think that, yeah, he got her in. Biden got KBJ. That's Katani Brown Jackson. Yeah. Arizona says 6 p.m. in Arizona, so that would be 9 p.m. on the Eastern time zone. That just seems late to start a debate. I think that's just late. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm just weird that way. I think it should start at 8. Alvin says 8 Central. Yeah, 8 Central. That'd be 8 Central. But I think it's 9 Eastern, which I think is weird. Nick Rich is being held in Atlanta? I don't know. I didn't even know, actually. I thought it was somewhere in like DC or New York or something. Real Pill, they wanted folks on the West Coast to be past drive time. Yeah, but that's... Since when do they ever care about us? Jupiter Judy says, yes, it's 9 p.m. set that time so West Coast can watch. We could watch it at 5 too. I know. People are working until 5. But you know what? This isn't like the old days. People have all kinds of different schedules now. There really isn't like a set 9 to 5 schedule anymore. But whatever. Big Hook says, according to McConnell rule, they seat should have been appointed by the next president. Barrett was rushed in for Trump stacking the court. Yeah, and that's where he went. He contradicted himself because he said the exact opposite thing when they were getting, I guess, Kavanaugh through or something, where that would have been that should have been Biden's pick, right? And then they delayed and delayed. They said it was too soon, or after Alito dying, or not Alito, Scalia, and and he said, yeah, it's too. You can't do this because it's too close to the election. And then, of course, when what's her face died just a couple weeks before the election, then they rushed through it. Total contradiction, total bullshit. That's why Mitch McConnell will forever be an asshole. And I will never forgive him. I would never forgive that guy for anything. That guy is, I mean, you can put him right there on the list of all the other assholes, Republicans. I mean, he's pretty much to the top. You can put him right there up there with Trump, really. Maybe he's not as wild and crazy, but he's definitely just as much of an asshole as Trump is. Talking about McConnell. Let's see. You don't like my music here? Hey, good to see you. You don't like my music? Says GOP ads are saying that a vote for Biden is really a vote for Kamala. I don't understand that strategy. I like Kamala better than Joe. Yeah, I don't know if I like Kamala better than Joe, but I always, whenever they say that, I'm always like, yeah, so? I'm perfectly fine with Kamala. And I think the only ones that have a problem with that are already people that would be voting for Trump anyhow. They're already the maggots. So they're not going to convince, okay, maggots are already going to vote for for Trump. Most of us Democrats, we're going to vote for Biden with very little exception. So who are they going after? Okay, it's always the independents, right? Who are the independents going to vote for? I think most of the independents are leaning towards Biden. And I would think that most of those folks probably don't mind Kamala Harris either. So it's kind of stupid because all they're talking about, preaching to the choir. That's really all they're doing when they say that, because it's already people who don't like Democrats and don't like Biden, who wouldn't be voting for a Democrat anyhow. So yeah, it's stupid. I think it's stupid, but what do I know? What do I know? What do I know? What do I know? Keith Fleet says the takeover of the SCOTUS is part of the slow-moving coup. Yeah, and that's all that fucking Leo. What's that Leo dude? Leo Leonard and his group. They're popping champagne and shit. Fuck those assholes, man. Fuck those fucking Leo Leonard assholes. They are the ruin of this country, man. They are ruining this country. Gino Maynard is here. Gino says, good morning to Roxanne. Let's see, what else we got? Jupiter Judy, dishes done. Swiftering next. Jupiter Judy doing some house cleaning whilst listening to the Trucker John show. Thank you very much. Arizona Sunflower says, maybe Trump will die and not make it to the debate. That could happen. You never know. Could die within the next few hours here, but I'm not hoping that on anybody, you know, well, just so you know. Arizona Sunflowers, racist maggots. They are very racist. I believe. William is in the room here, in the driver's lounge. Good to see William. Let's see. Jupiter Judy, Mr. Spock, too many bugs and mold problems. Oh, that's not good. And Mr. Spock was planting some plants and all that good stuff. Man, you guys are just busy. I'm busy. Okay, let's decorate the walls here. Didn't sound right. What are we gonna do here? Let's see. I got some stuff here to put up. Maybe we can put this up and say, hey, 58,000 Ford workers are getting profit sharing checks of up to $10,400 because their union negotiated it. Remember this. The next time your boss says unions don't work. I thought I grabbed that meme off of Threads. That's where I usually get them, and I grabbed it because I think it's important. So many times people are saying they don't need unions or union. We have a lot of things to thank unions for. Good wages, working conditions, safety in the workplace, good pay, overtime pay, holiday pay, all that good stuff. So just remember that. And for all of you Republican union members, just know this. Because there are Republican union members. I've spoken to them. I was a shop steward in APWU, and I handled cases for people that were Republicans. Just from knowing them, and it's not like I ask you what party you in, but just from knowing them, you talk to them, and you know who they vote for. You know what they're about, and. So yeah, I've seen Republicans who are union people. As a truck driver, I spoke with a union guy who was a dock worker back in, I think it was Alabama. I think had a really nice conversation with him, asking him why he's in the union, but he's a Republican, and he said it's because the Republican Party stands for the things that he believes in, and it was like the sanctity of marriage, and it was the Second Amendment, and it was Republicans are stronger on national defense, and I don't know, there was like 5 things. I always forget all of them, but it was the basic tropes, of what the Republicans say, Republican people, and but I just want you to know that if you're a Republican and you're a union member and you're pro-union, I want you to know that Donald Trump is not pro-union. He talks shit about unions all the time. And the Republican Party is not pro-union. Just going back to Reagan, Reagan started this whole sort of demonization of unions. And since Reagan was president, we went from about 1/3 of jobs, and I don't know if that's combined with like government jobs and private sector, or if it was just private sector for this figure, about this 1/3. But I think we had about 30 or 33% jobs were union at the high, right? And then since then, it's just dwindled down and down through all these Republican policies and Republican, actions that they take. They've demonized the unions. They've done a lot of union busting type of stuff. So that I think we're down in single digits now, and so that's pretty horrible. So if you're a Republican and you're pro-union, I think you need to do some self-examination there. Hey, Jolie's here. I can see Jolie in the chat. Good to see Jolie. Jupiter Judy, Florida humidity is no good for outside grow. Judy the farmer. Ginny G's in the driver's lounge. It says, it's going to look bad for him if he doesn't turn up. Not just Americans are watching for his reaction. Yeah, if Trump does not show up, I think that would be the ultimate sign of weakness. That would really make him look weak. If he does show up, he might look like a buffoon to us, but to his MAGA, loyalists, I can see how they could say that was, whatever, that he looked good or strong or whatever. I think that not showing up might be the worst thing he could do for him. William says, Reagan was president of SAG, go figure. Yeah, Reagan was even a former Democrat, I think, wasn't he? And became a Republican. So lots of turnarounds for Reagan. Lots of really contradicting himself and being very hypocritical. Let's see. I'm just sort of skipping down through the chat here. You don't like my music. Says, I remember first seeing drag queens at raves in the early 90s. These bigots need to get out more. Oh, yeah. They're just so afraid of the drag queens. Jolie said, I had to find a place to park. Signal kept going out. Okay. I hope you find a good signal. Big Hook says, will he walk off after he gets asked something with pushback when he starts bullshitting? Well, that's what Seha was saying and Nick Rich is saying or whatever, that he's going to storm off. I guess we'll see. I guess we will find out. Arizona Sunflowers says they don't want them reading books to kids at school. I don't think they want them reading books, period. I think they want most of the kids in the general public, not counting their own. They want to send their kids maybe to private schools and get the best education. But as far as public education is concerned, they would just want people just to learn just enough vocabulary, enough math, to run a machine or to run something, whatever it is for their companies. To be sufficiently educated enough to do some menial labor or something. That's as far as they want their education system to go. Except for their kids, that would get higher education or whatever and become, because those will be the future, CEOs or whatever. Roxanne says that's a big possibility, Big Hook. He doesn't have any good answers. I guess, like I was saying, we'll see. We'll see if he is going to storm out or not. Okay, let's get some more wall decorations going here. Here's another thing. I know that we've talked about Project 2025. It's fascism, and we need to. This is a taking over and destroying democracy from within. Is what that is. That's what Project 2025 is. It's destroying the country from within. And these maggots, they would love nothing more than to destroy this democracy, just so they could have their fucking orange turd leader, who, you know, he's not going to be around forever. I don't know. I mean, he's what, 78? I mean, he could be around for another 20 years. You know, people live to be in their late 90s. He could live to be 100. But then what? Your orange church is going to be gone. And I doubt he's going to be able to lead all the way till he's 100. I mean, you know, at some point, he's going to be... and at the rate he's going, it's not going to take long for him to be totally... just a blubbering, you know, incoherent blob. So then who takes over? Don Jr.? Is it going to be like this, like a monarchy or something? Is that what they want? They claim to want all these things like freedoms and stuff. Do you think a monarchy is going to let them keep their guns? At some point, they're going to lose all that shit. At least on the Democrats, I think most Democrats were... I mean, I know that I've heard some Democrats go real extreme, but as far as guns, I think most of us are for good, sensible gun safety rules and laws. And yeah, I'm for an assault weapons ban. But I'm not saying that all weapons should be... no one should have a right to a weapon. I don't believe that the Second Amendment says anything of what Scalia came up with in the Heller decision, but I do agree with Scalia's assessment that we do have a right to protect ourselves, even when we're out of the home. I do kind of believe that, but I don't believe that's what the Second Amendment says. I don't know how he got there. I forget how he bridged the Second Amendment to come to that. But I guess what my point is that needs to be a whole separate new law, because the Second Amendment doesn't say that. But I do agree with his sentiment there. I do believe we have the right to self-protection and self-defense. But I don't believe that we have the right to any weapon, anytime, anywhere. You know, I do believe in regulations. I do believe in strong background checks, universal background checks. I do believe in banning things like bump stocks. I do agree in a assault weapon ban. You know, I don't think you need to carry around an AR-15 to protect yourself. I think if you're going to carry, I don't really have a problem with concealed carry, but as long as you have a really stringent background check. I think there should be written tests. I think there should be skills tests. Just like when you're driving a car, you should have to prove some proficiency in safely handling a weapon. I believe that's the stuff I believe in. But I think if you had like just a dictatorship, and the dictator was feeling like, I think there's too many guns with these people, I don't trust them anymore, or whatever, and with a wave of his hand, take away all the guns. That's what you get with a dictator. At least I think with us, if you have a democracy, you've got a much better chance of being able to keep some of your weapons. That's just me, though. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Arizona Sunflower says, and in LA, the government demands, or is it Louisiana? Oh, Louisiana. Demands the 10 Commandments are posted in every class, forcing religion on kids. It doesn't even make sense. Posting the 10 Commandments doesn't even make sense. Now, I think I remember at some point in some of my schools I went to, like maybe in junior high or high school, they would have like bulletin boards in the hallway, stuff like that. And I think I remember seeing like a rules or code of conduct posted. That's fine, like, hey, no fighting, no wearing your pants below the crack of your ass or whatever. I mean, you want to put rules, some code of conduct, fine. But the 10 Commandments, that doesn't make any sense. It's stupid. It's stupid. It's performative. It's just bullshit. It's just grandstanding. It's pandering to the religious right. It's all a show. It's just ridiculous. They're ridiculous. Mr. Spock, I'd like to see Trump's practice debates outtakes. It would be very humorous. Here's his practice. I'll give you. You want to see Trump's practice debate outtakes? Here's his outtakes. Here it is. It'd be like, fuck this shit. I'm just gonna wing it. Fuck you. Bring me a hamburger. There, that's your outtake. That's what he's doing. He's not fucking even practicing. He thinks he can just wing it. They're going over shit with him, and he's probably just like dozing off. Here's another outtake. Oh, what? Biden, what? There's another outtake. William says he's one big back away from a heart attack. No, he's the healthiest man ever to walk the face of the earth. You don't like my music? Gun owners should have to be insured too. Yeah, that's another thing I didn't add to that, my little thing there. Yeah, I think so too. I think they should have to carry insurance. Nick Ridge says defending against guns means more guns, less need to defend with less hardware around. Arizona Sunflower says every gun should have a simple gun lock. The Major says people complain they're too expensive, and he says if they can't afford a gun lock, how the F do they afford a gun? Yeah, really, because guns are pretty expensive. And if you buy a new one, I guess if you buy a used one, you might get a better deal. But yeah, if you can afford the gun, you could probably afford the gun lock. They're not that expensive. I don't think I've ever really priced them, but I mean, how expensive could a gun lock be? And there is technology where, as far as like of a gun being stolen and then used to commit a crime, I believe there is technology where a gun could only be fired. It would be like a fingerprint technology or something. And the NRA shoots that kind of stuff down. The gun manufacturers don't want that kind of stuff. I mean, there are probably a lot of different kind of safety things that could be put into place, and but the NRA they were so powerful. I'm not sure if they're as powerful as they used to be. Seems like the NRA has kind of lost a lot of its sway because they're kind of bankrupt. I think what's his face, Pierre, whatever I think, kind of bankrupted him. Hey, Mike H is in the house, is in the driver's lounge, and asks, "What about abortion? What about abortion? Your mom should have had one. I don't know what." Anyhow, Steve Sayre says, "Hi everyone. I don't think much of the good guy with a gun. Yeah, I don't either. That was another bullshit response to a school shooting by Wayne LaPierre. You don't like my music? If you can't ban guns, then at least make them really expensive." That's one thing, like the Chris Rock thing, make bullets like $10,000 a piece or whatever. Paul Mannion from England says, good evening, TJ and all you truckers. King Crump, don't bear thinking about how the fuck that work. The right to bear arms should have proper vetting. Yes, that's the background checks I was talking about. Arizona Sunflowers, that's for Sunday school, talking about the Ten Commandments. Exactly. That was one of my first responses. It was like, because one of my friends, Facebook friends, posted something about how it was such a great thing. They posted the Ten Commandments in the schools, and it was like glory to God and all that shit. And I was just like, no, that shit belongs in church. If you want to talk about the Ten Commandments, go to church. And then someone else sort of backed me up, and they said, yeah, if you're going to put the Ten Commandments in, how about the Muslims, the pillars of whatever, and then all this guy knew what he was talking about. He mentioned like 5 or 6 different religions, all of their sort of equivalent to the Ten Commandments. Why not post those too? And then that actually, his response, see, that guy's much smarter than I am, the guy with that post, because that actually made the friend who posted that originally actually said, like, yeah, that makes sense or something, so maybe you're right. So, see, there are people that could actually say things and word things in a way that are beneficial, that will actually get someone from the other side to maybe think about something. And then there's dumb shits like me who are just like, yeah, fuck you, it should be a whatever. So I probably need to be a little more tactful or something. I don't know. Arizona Sunflower says code of conduct is fine. Yeah, that's what I was saying. If they want to put down like the school rules, no pulling girls' hair, stuff like that. No, mean name calling. That's fine, but to put the Ten Commandments is ridiculous. Like I said, it's just another show. It's just a pandering to the religious right. Chris says, I don't agree with the insurance stuff. That only hurts poor people. About insuring their guns? Well, I guess poor people need guns too. So, Jolie says you can always trust Mike H to jump in with the exact same talking points. Old, reliable. Mike says, anything for you, my dear. I think Mike might be getting sweet on Jolie there. I don't know. Jenny D says, if it will just become another poster on the wall that nobody takes any notice, or it will just become another. Yeah, but that's kind of not the point. They've made a big deal out of it. The Republicans have. They've made a big show of it. And still, it's there. If it's going to be there, the kids are going to see it every day. They're going to pass by it. It is like indoctrination. They're like trying to indoctrinate kids into their religious belief. And that's what parents' jobs are for. That's what parents are supposed to do. They're supposed to indoctrinate their kids into their religion. Like my music says, Republicans would have us believe that the problem... let's see here. That the problem is really mental illness. Well, roughly 50% of us will suffer from mental illness at some point. I don't know what the problem we're talking about. I've lost that train of thought, so I don't know. Mike H. Yeah, that's another old reliable there, huh, Jolie? Another one of those... says he has dementia. Well, you know what, Mike H? We'll see tonight. We'll see of course, he's jacked up, right? He's all jacked up, so we won't see the dementia. But I think what we're going to see is how demented Donald Trump is. That's what we're going to see. We are going to see a blabbering, nonsensical Donald Trump. Walter McCarver says, I have an idea for tonight, Chuck and John. Can you imagine what Trump would do if CNN would insert Jim Acosta as a moderator at the last minute. He would explode. Yeah, that would be funny because he didn't like Jim Acosta. Chris says, I haven't bought a new gun into over 20 years, so how am I supposed to be able to afford insurance? I don't know, Chris. Don't insure it then. There are no insurance rules, so you're safe. You're safe. Who knows even how much it would cost? It might be very affordable. I don't know. It's just hypothetical, you know. At this point, Arizona Sunflower says, according to Dr. Ronnie Johnson, he's in perfect health. Yes, Ronnie Jackson, Dr. Ronnie Jackson. And he's like, Ronnie Johnson's like, oh shit, I gotta change my name. Nick Rich says, opinions about mental health should be left up to professionals. Yeah, Mike H. Are you a professional? Chris, most of mine are antiques. It's hypothetical. Don't worry about it, Chris. We're just talking hypothetically. You don't like my music, Chris? You aren't supposed to be able to afford it. That's why it's such a good idea. Mr. Spock, people want to see this debate because it's going to be a shit show Biden will deliver, I hope. It's a few hours away. We're going to find out. Roxanne Arfield, do you need insurance to own a car? Why should a gun be any different? They are both lethal. Arizona Sunflowers, it's important to protect kids from terrible accidents. Chris says, you don't like my music, you don't like my music, so you can just take away my family keepsakes and stuff that I've had most of my life. Maybe. Not all your keepsakes, maybe the gun ones. Hey, look, Chris, I know. Hey, look, we're just spitballing here. We're just spitballing, you know. You might be grandfathered in, or there might be, I don't know. Maybe you could take the firing pins out and just say maybe there'd be a provision for them being, you know, heirlooms and keepsakes, and they would be more for display purposes or something. I don't know. We're just spitballing. I'm spitballing here, okay? Chris says, that's what requiring insurance would do. Jenny G says, people here had to give up their semi-automatic rifles a few years back. Jenny G, you're from New Zealand, right? I think, right? If I remember correctly. I know New Zealand and Australia, they have much stricter gun laws than we do. That's for sure. I think. You don't like my music, Chris, but if your family keepsake is a firearm, then yes. Otherwise, decommission it and hang it on your wall. That's kind of what I just said. Mike H, I believe the 10 should be at church too. Of course, that's where it belongs. Is in your Christian church. That's exactly where it belongs. It doesn't belong in a school. It doesn't belong in a courthouse or a civic building. It belongs in a church. Because if you're going to start bringing Christian shit out into the public buildings, public schools, public courthouses, and public civic areas like that, then you can't play favorites. And then you got to bring out the Muslim stuff and the Buddhist stuff and all the other different religions. You can't just and the Jewish religion. You can't just play favorites to Christianity because you think that this is a Christian nation, which it is not. Jolie says, I don't see why gun insurance couldn't work like car insurance. The older the gun, the less use of the gun, the storage of the gun. Yeah, there's all kinds of things that would be worked out. Like I said, it's kind of a hypothetical at this point. And if it ever got to that point where insurance was required, I'm sure it would be a very wordy and worked out type of deal. Hopefully. But like I said, we're just spitballing right here. And it's good that Chris brings this up because if we do, let's say, try to litigate something like that, or legalize that, or put that into codify it or whatever, we should hear all those arguments. We should hear that argument. So it's good that Chris brings that up, and it just shows it's not so just sort of, I don't know, cookie cutter as it might seem at first. My music says gun insurance isn't meant to be a panacea. It's meant to make guns harder to get. Nick Rich, guns aren't the only deadly weapon someone can carry easily. Mr. Spock, the anti-gun people should show what a bump stock weapon can do. Well, I've seen that video. Did you not see that video? I have yet to see a demonstration of it in action. I haven't been looking for footage. It seems strange. Oh, well, if you would watch Randy Rhoads just showed that video of the guy. He had a bump stock. I think it was an AR-15, yeah, and he showed how with and without the bump stock, the difference of the rapid firing rate. It was a great video. You should probably go look up Randy Rhoads, and it was just from like last week. You could probably find it, or the video that she used, probably searchable. So, Chris says, I'm all for background checks, red flag laws, safety courses, drug testing, and even a psych level, but ongoing insurance payments that will most likely never be used is a bridge too far. Well, you're entitled to your opinion, and like I said, I'm just spitballing here, and it's good to have both sides of that argument. It really is, because it makes us think. Okay, well, how could we either, make it work for people? You don't like my music, like Nick Rich said, banning guns isn't supposed to cure all society's ills. Big Hook says the insurance means victims, families get compensation and restrict people from being able to have a full armory, as well as that means the guns are registered so cops know what they are walking into. You don't like my music, banning guns solves gun violence, not everything. Paul Mannion, the trouble is America makes too many weapons. What about all the illegal weapons knocking about? The idea that anyone can own semi-automatic weapons is crazy. We are gun lovers. We're a gun-loving country. We have a country of about, what was it? We have about 350 million people, and there's, what was the stat? It's like there's 350 million guns, but only about a third of the population own them. So, on average wise, that means that's a gun for everyone has a gun, even little babies, statistically. But the actual thing is, all those guns are going to about 1/3 of the population. So 1/3 of the population of this country has 350 million guns. It's just crazy. It's just crazy, all the guns. Jenny G says, when my late first husband went for gun license, the police asked me if I was okay with him having guns. Well, they actually came and asked you that. See, they don't do that in America. They don't give a shit. They don't give a shit. Anyone can get a gun here, just about. Unless you're Hunter Biden, then you're not allowed to have one. You don't like my music, but even if we ban guns, people will still die of cancer. It's not an argument against gun laws. GGS, New Zealand. Barney Thompson is here. Barney says, there absolutely should be gun insurance. We've all seen these gun freaks with 50 or more guns. How many fucking guns does a person need? That kind of goes with what I was talking about it's like 1/3 of the population owns all the guns in America. Chris says, I lost my last car because I couldn't afford the insurance. Pulled over for going 6 miles over the speed limit on a downhill for about 2 seconds. That sucks, Chris. That sucks. Big Cook says if insurance means public inquiry of people owning weapons freely, that means you can distance yourself and report people who seem out of control. I mean, with Castle Doctrine, they can shoot on entry. Mike H., what about those 2 dead teenagers? What dead 2 teenagers? I think there's a lot of dead teenagers. I don't know which 2 you're talking about. You don't like my music, Chris. That's the point of insurance. It means that if you can't afford the consequences of the accident, you don't get to drive. Say how says Chris, a 10-pound cannon is legal for felons according to law. So is a Vickers machine gun. We definitely need the whole point I was trying to make is that I believe you have a lot better chance of still having guns under a democracy and by a party that believes in democracy and democratic values than you do under a dictator. That was my whole point. And that's about Project 2025 and about the country being destroyed from within and democracy being destroyed from within. That's what 2025 is about. And that Trump wants to be a dictator. And they want to put him up as their dictator. So my point was that let's just say in this scenario, this is all, fantasy or whatever. In that scenario, if Trump became president and then and they did this Project 2025, they destroy democracy, he becomes a dictator. All of these people that voted for him and support him, and they all are probably gun lovers. One of the first things Trump would take away is probably their guns. That was my point of the whole thing. It wasn't really to get into an argument about insurance and gun laws and stuff like that. I'm just saying, yeah, we will probably have some, if we had our way, our control, in the House and the Senate and the White House, and we can get some meaningful gun laws passed. It would probably be universal background checks. It would be probably an assault weapons ban. It would be, those type of things. But if you had Trump as a dictator, he could just fart and shit in his pants a little bit and go, you know what? I think we should take away all the guns. And he could do it because he's a dictator. That was my point. Okay? Okay, guys? Guys, that was my point. Hey, Liberal Dan and it's Trucker John. Hey, it's Liberal Dan. It's Liberal Dan. Someday I will learn how to talk. Good to see Liberal Dan here in the chat. I think Liberal Dan is going to be doing something for the debate tonight. You can watch Liberal Dan. You can watch. Here's how Liberal Dan is going to do it. You have it on your TV, the debate, but on your device or whatever, you have Liberal Dan, and then you guys, everyone will just chat about the debate. But he's not going to actually show the debate on his channel because sometimes YouTube can get kind of weird and shut channels down for that. So that's Liberal Dan. So if you want to check out the debate tonight with Liberal Dan and have fun with the other chatters like we're having fun in here, and you can have a group chat while you watch on your own TVs the debate. So that would be fun. I think that'd be fun. We got there's no sunflowers. I say ban bump stocks and semi-automatic weapons. They're for war, not in normal neighborhoods. I agree. I pretty much agree with that. Let's see. I'm gonna ignore comments about insurance for guns because, like I said, that was I already stated my point, and I don't want to keep doing that. Liberal Dan says yes, I will be live tonight. So Liberal Dan will be live tonight during the debate, and I'll be there. I'm going to be checking out Liberal Dan's deal. If I'm not, I might be. That's about the time when I like to go out to drive. So, but I might go out a little bit later so I can watch that debate there. The debate there on the TV and then the Liberal Dan show. Mish says, what time are you back on this PMTJ? Well, I was going to do a 3 p.m. Well, you know what? That's right, because it's summertime. Hal is if he comes on at 3, then I would come on at 2. So whatever if Hal's coming on today, because I know he was going to come on later, like after the debate. So that's going to be way tonight. But his normal Thursday shows are at 4. But then it's summertime, and when his son and his mom is in town, he does the regular 3 p.m. So I'm assuming, because I haven't seen anything of his schedule or anything announced, but he's been coming on at 3 for the last few weeks, Pacific time. So if he does that, I would come on at 2. And we'll just do a little hangout. If he comes on at 4, so I guess it'll be 2 o'clock no matter what. That's the way I've been doing it for the last few weeks. And because if he comes on at 3, then we end it. If he comes on at 4, then we'll just do a 2-hour show. So yeah, let's just plan on, I'll come back on at 2 p.m. and we'll do a little House Sparks pre-show hangout. Let's see here now. What's going on over here? You don't like my music? I want to watch it on YouTube so I can give all the answers I think Biden should give. Yeah, if you go into Liberal Dan's channel there, by golly, you can do that. You can in the chat. You can chat what you think Biden should say. And there's Jolie put the link there to Liberal Dan. So yeah, if you guys don't already know it and don't go there, haven't gone there before, go there, subscribe, like, share, all that good stuff, and check out the debate with Liberal Dan and all of the Danimals. Like, are we calling it Danimals? That sounds like a kid's clothing or something. But anyhow, but yeah, do that. Check that out. Hal says, Rick says Hal doesn't do Thursday mornings. Yeah, I know. I never said that he did. Not once did I ever say that. Chris says, Sugar John, I heard he was going to come on after the debate. Not sure. Yes, I believe that's what he's going to do. But I think he's still going to do his afternoon show. I'm pretty sure. I haven't heard that he's not doing his afternoon show. So I'm just going to go on at 2 no matter what. So if you want to see some more of this, come back at 2. But we're not done here yet. We just didn't start it. I'm just getting warmed up, man. Steve Sayers is here. Steve says electric land sharks talk tonight. Hey, Steve, good to see you. Yeah, I'm wondering how off the rails Trump's going to be. That's the whole thing. I mean, we've been asking all this whole show, is he even going to show up? And if he does show up, is he going to storm off? You know, these are the questions we're all wondering about. So it's going to be interesting to see. Big Hook says, Arizona, we need to abolish all assault rifles. They kill with one shot, blah, blah, blah. I've already said assault weapon ban. Arizona Sunflower, Chris, don't know where you are, but after a couple of monsoons we've had in Arizona, it's so humid and laundry wouldn't dry. I thought we were going to get some monsoons up here, but it didn't quite materialize up here yet in Vegas. Bonnie Thompson says Biden should laser Trump if he gets crazy. And you don't like my music? I might have been banned from Little Dan. Oh. Well, you can go in there and find out. If you can't get in there, then I guess that would be true. If not, I think Boston Brian has got it going. So. Or probably a lot of people have it on. Jupiter Judy says the sign says Donald, welcome to Atlanta for the first time since becoming a convicted felon. Congrats or whatever. That's funny. Mr. Spock says Biden needs to take the gloves off. He will deliver, and then some. I hope so. Chris says he's not going to like his mic being cut off, but yeah, too bad. Too bad, Donnie. Too bad that Donnie doesn't like his microphone to be cut off. Donnie might go poo-poo in his diaper. Ginny G says Hal is going to replay and critique the debate after it's over. Yeah, that's it, Ginny. I think that's it. I think that's how he's doing it. Arizona Sunflower says Boston Brian was told he could not show the debate live streaming. Oh, okay. Thanks for updating that. Liberal Dan says you don't like my you don't like my music. Why do you think that? Do you have other ID? Like another profile name, I guess. Paul Mannion from England says, I really hope that whoever is in charge tonight lays down the rules. I think Trump will lose the plot if Joe keeps his cool. Well, the people in charge is going to be, I think, Jake Tapper and Dana Bash, I think. Or like the moderators. I think they'll probably do a good job. I think they'll do it. We'll see. We'll just gotta wait and see, I guess. You don't like my music, says Ed Liberal Dan. I clicked the link and I hadn't subscribed to you yet. I thought I had, but I did now. All right, so Liberal Dan got another subscriber. Looking forward to seeing you over there. You don't like my music? I'll see you over there tonight on the Liberal Dan channel. Mr. Spock, you've been tapped. I don't know what that means. Oh, like phone tap? Chris says we're going to see Dark Brandon at his best. Because he's going to be jacked up. He's going to be all jacked up, man. Ginny G, how long do they have to speak? 30 seconds? I don't really know the breakdowns of it. It might be. They might have a clock going. Like that. But yeah, I don't know all the rules. You don't like my music, says that Liberal Dan. Usually I subscribe only if I get banned. Usually I unsubscribe only if I get banned. Maybe I just forgot. Arizona Sunflower says, Ginny G, it depends on the rules they have tonight. Yeah, I haven't seen a breakdown of the rules. But I guess I could look it up. Nothing's stopping me from looking it up. Now, is there? Okay, I'm going to look it up. I'm going to actually do some looking up. Let's see here. Let's see. What are the rules? Oh, shit. Damn it. I did not mean to. Why is it not? Okay. Let's see what comes up here. Okay, it says, this is according to the U.S. News and World Report. It says, a coin flip on Friday, which landed on tails, decided that Trump would have the last word in the debate. The Biden campaign won the toss, giving them the opportunity to select podium position or order of closing arguments. They chose the podium on the right side of the TV screens for viewers. The Trump campaign chose to have the former president deliver his closing statement last. So, there's that. It says candidates in May agreed to debate rules. So they've had these rules in place for since last month, which include appearing at a podium, muting microphones throughout the debate, except for when it's the candidate's turn to speak, and excluding props or pre-written notes on stage. The candidates will have a pen, pad of paper, and a bottle of water. The muted microphone rule, likely in place to discourage crosstalk between the candidates, hurts both men by limiting the opportunity for a viral moment or pithy soundbite, says Casey Myers, a professor and director of the Graduate Studies program at the School of Communication at Virginia Tech. Va-Tech. Let's see. Here is the format. Bucking tradition, CNN's debate will have 2 commercial breaks and no live audience. So there's no live audience, so you're not going to get anyone who's try to pack the crowd with their people and all that kind of shit. During the commercial breaks, the candidates will not be able to communicate with their campaign staff. The absence of a live audience will impact both candidates during the debate, especially Trump, who thrives off of crowd interactions. This is according to Myers, the guy from Va-Tech. It is difficult to do public speaking with no audience. Okay, this is just his opinion. I just want to get more on the rules. But there's no... so that's that. I don't know why my goddamn thing won't scroll. I hate when things don't work. The moderators are Jake Tapper and Dana Bash. As I said, they are co-anchors CNN State of the Union. They will moderate the 90-minute matchup. So it's scheduled to go 90 minutes. Bash is CNN's chief political correspondent. And Tapper is CNN's chief Washington correspondent. And let's see, what else are the rules here? I don't know why it won't freaking scroll. Shit pisses me off. Why is it not scrolling? God dang it. It's like frozen. Now it scrolls. Now I gotta scroll back. And then it won't scroll. What a piece of crap. I need a new something. So then it just goes into just talking about the moderators type of thing. How can you watch the debate? CNN will broadcast or stream the debate on all of their platforms. So it's going to be on CNN. This is the first debate of 2 scheduled debates. The next one is supposed to be in September on ABC. So there's that one. We'll see if we ever get to that one. So that was some of the rules. I guess that was it. I don't know. I'm gonna get off of this page because this is really frustrating me. How the goddamn thing won't scroll, and I can't even. It's just slow. I hate slow shit. It's pissing me off. Anyhow, okay, guys. So I'm back over in the chat now. Let's see. Let me see if you guys were saying some stuff while I was doing that. So that was the rules. And now the chat just sort of disappeared for a second there, but I guess it's back. Liberal Dan says some of the drinking game suggestions were submitted by people in the chat last night. And if I wasn't going to go out driving, I would participate in that, but I'll have to just drink water. But then, you can die from drinking too much water too. So I don't know, too fastly. Too fastly? That's why I don't have a million viewers, I guess, because I can't talk. I can't speak correctly. Barney Thompson says, "Will Trump do what he did to Hillary? Stuck behind President trying to intimidate him?" I don't know. Are they going to allow that? Because they're going to mute the mics, but they didn't. As far as the rules I saw, it didn't say he couldn't walk around the stage. I think at this point, it just becomes comical. If he tried to do that, and Biden is answering something, and then you see Trump walking around like scowling at him. It would just, to me, that would just come off as funny. But Jupiter G says, "Have you cleared, Trucker John? Have you cleared your cache, and done a hard reset? Doesn't take your info, but iPhone's reset." Well, this is an iPad. I haven't done that. I guess I don't know. I guess I probably should. I don't think I've done that in a long time. Probably needs it. Mr. Spock, any bets Trump will lose it at the 20-minute mark? I don't know. Liberal Dan says, I think they should use chess clocks for debates. If you think X needs a longer response, go for it. But once you're out of time, you're done. Interesting. Keith Fleet says, serving Mountain Dew at my watch party. You guys are going to get jacked up on Mountain Dew, huh? If you don't like my music, says, does anyone honestly believe that Don Jr. doesn't own both a gun and take illicit drugs? I think I do believe that. Probably, I don't know. Roxanne says, Bonnie Thompson, I don't think President Biden will let him get away with that. About the stalking around him and stuff. Chris, I want to try hard Mountain Dew. Did they have that? Or do you just make your own? Just pour a little something in it, a little something in there? Liberal Dan and Keith Lee, I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew. Yeah. You don't like my music? Says, Biden should come at Trump like a spider monkey. Mr. Spock, Biden would say, get back to your podium, you creep. Nick Ridge says, Joe should do a big bong rip before he goes on. MJ Daniel, shout out to 420 there, Nick Ridge. MJ Daniel says, when DJT starts stalking around, Joe should ask him if he needs to use the little boy's room. He should say, do you need a diaper change? Jupiter Judy, it's the rules I heard at Trucker John, same thing. It speeds it up. It speeds it up. Chris says Biden's Social Security will not let Trump get, or Social Security, his Secret Service will not let Trump get near him. Arizona Sunflowers says, I have GAN iPad 2. Oh, I have an iPad 2, but it's about 5 years. Mine's at least 5 years. I can't even remember when I bought mine. Yeah, mine's an old one too, and it doesn't update anymore, and it totally sucks. I need a new iPad, but got to get the money together. Damn it! I feel for you, John. Yeah, I know. Money's so tight, isn't it? We need to get our stuff. We need to update our equipment. You don't like my music? Gin mixes well with pretty much anything. Yeah, put some gin in there. As Paul Stanley would say, what's it? How's he lead up to the song? Was it Slow Gin? That song? It was like, like in the live version, he's like, he talks about all these drinks. I can't do it. Hal could do it. I can't do it. But it just reminds me of a Kiss song. We talk about gin. Chris says, John, I've been seeing that advertised lately. Hard Mountain Dew. Well, now I want some. Mr. Spock, bong rips, yes, please. Jupiter Judy, I heard no moving around on stage like he did with the others. Well, we'll see if he follows the rules or not. Big Hook. The question is, will the new conservative billionaire owner frame the questions in Trump's favor, or will Tapper and Bash agree to go along with that influence? The new conservative billionaire owner of CNN, is that who you're talking about? Jenny G says, be interesting to see if Trump keeps going to ramble on, and not really answer the question or has anything coherent to say. And I'm gonna say right here and right now that he is not going to have anything interesting to say, and he's going to be incoherent and rambly. Liberal Dan says, if your Mountain Dew is hard for more hours, call a doctor. This public service announcement, if your Mountain Dew is hard for more than 4 hours, please consult a physician. MJ Daniel says, back when I drank, I would put beef eaters in Country Time lemonade. There you go. Cold Gin, Kiss song. Is it Cold Gin? Yeah. I thought it was Slow Gin or something like that. Anyhow, Roxanne Arnfield says, Jenny D's, that's what I'm waiting to see. That's what I'm waiting to see. Oh, say, can you see? I wonder if I would. Is that trademarked? Is that copyrighted by anybody? Am I going to get in trouble for that? Am I going to get in trouble for singing the. What is that? Star Spangled Banner? Am I going to get in trouble? Okay, I better shut that off. I think I can get away with that. Was the opening of Cold Gin by Kiss. I think I can get away with a few seconds. We'll see. I guess we'll find out. If I'm gonna get in trouble or not. Find out. Uh-oh. Gotta turn that volume down. I don't know if you guys heard that or not. It might not even been audible. I don't know. Is that the right word? Audible? I called it audible on that one. But anyhow, let's see what else we got going on here in the good old chat. Slow Gin Fizz says Nick Rich 56. Arizona Sunflowers says, I used to drink slow gin back in the day when I was young. Loved it, tasted like berries. But it sure snuck up on you, and all of a sudden you noticed you were wasted. Oh, that was Arizona Sunflowers. Did I say it was Nick Rich? It was Arizona Sunflowers that would do that. Nick Rich says Slow Gin Fizz. Jupiter Judy Sundowning, he will be babbling, I hope. Yeah, and that's what Hal's been talking about, this sundowning thing. And this is going to be held at 9 p.m. And Hal remarked that all of Trump's rallies and appearances have been like early in the afternoon because he can't stay up too late because he gets sleepy. He needs a new diaper, a new fresh diaper, and a baba, and he goes nighty-nighty, and then at some point during the night needs a new diaper and another baba. We just go full circle, folks. It happens to all of us, I guess, at some point. Say how copyright strike. I don't think so. I think you can get away with a few seconds. MJ, and it wouldn't be a strike, it would be a claim. And there's a difference. It would just mean that if this particular video goes viral and 5 billion people watch it, that all of the monetization apparently would go to Kiss. For that 5 seconds I played of it. Anyhow, so we'll see. I guess we'll see what happens. But a strike is different. A strike is I had a strike for trying to monetize that Bruce Springsteen concert I went to. Because I did try to put monetization on it because I was dumb. But if I hadn't tried that, it would have just been a claim. They would have let me. They probably would have let me keep it up, but then they would just be like, if this thing makes any money, and then we're getting we're getting it. You know, because Bruce Springsteen, he needs more money. God knows he's barely making it. MJ Daniels says Slow Gin is a Joe Bonamassa song. Oh, Cold Gin is Kiss, and the Kiss Live is the first album I bought when I was 14. Kiss Alive. Wasn't it Kiss Alive? Roxanne Arfield says Slow Gin Fizz, the gateway booze. There you go. Steve Sayers says, I have a damn mouse in the garage, named him Donald Trump, and told him his ass is mine by tonight. And if you got one mouse, that means you got probably a whole bunch of mice. You don't ever have just one, I don't think. Unfortunately. Unless you really love them, I don't know. Mike H. must be confused with Joe. Oh, that's a good one, Mike. You really got us on that one, man. Whoo-hoo! Boy, you're really coming at us with some good ones there. Nick Rich says, the hunt keeps prowling. Arizona Sunflowers, that was me, a young hippie trying to get through the gate in San Francisco back in the 70s. Oh, the good old days, huh? Sehal says, it's cornflakes time again. You know, the only thing that keeps us together. Oh, that sounds like a parody, a song parody. Huh? It's cornflakes time again. Anyhow. Arizona Sunflowers, I'm old now. Don't drink anymore? Kids, don't worry. I won't worry. I won't worry, but if you want to take a little sip. Arizona Sunflowers, Seahawks. Oh, and then we got retracted there. Okay, I was in the middle of reading that. Mr. Spock says, money corrupts. It's a given. The more money offered, the more the corruption. Bonnie Thompson says Kendrick Lamar did a Juneteenth concert and removed the rights, so people have been streaming it. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's a cool move, I think. Roxanne Arnfield says, I've since moved to Scotch. Don't worry, in moderation, of course. Of course. Jupiter Judy, ugh, at Roxanne. My parents drink Scotch. Don't like it. I don't like it. I don't want it. I don't even want to think about it. I like me some beer. I like beer. Me and Kavanaugh, it's the only thing we have in common, I think. I like beer. Paul Mannion, hi, it's me again. What time in the UK is the showdown? Well, I think you add, like, I don't know. Is it like 12 hours? What do you, like, what time is it right now, Paul? Like, okay, it's oh, wait, because, well, it's 10:51 here in the Pacific time zone. So, let's see, 11, 12. It's 1:51. It's almost 2 on the Eastern time zone. aren't you like 8 hours ahead of the East Coast of the Eastern time zone? If that's the case, and if it starts at 9 Eastern time, that's going to be like 3 in the morning or something? I'm thinking. Sehal says, Bishop Buck, I don't care much for money. Money can't buy me love. Buy me love. Arizona Sunflowers, it was supposed to be Sehal, and I was saying cornflakes. Keep something together. Chris says, I'm told whiskey makes me mean. I say it makes me brutally honest. It's all about perspective, isn't it? Mr. Spock says, that's the best marketing at Bonnie Thompson. Arizona Sunflowers keeps you regular. Roxanne says, it is an acquired taste for sure. At Jupiter Judy there. But Scotch, I guess. Nick Rich says, I drink less these days, cheaper to get high. Is it really? Is it really? Because pot's pretty expensive from what I can see. Jupiter Judy says, Paul, 3 a.m. That's what I was thinking. Paul Manning, 8 minutes to 7. So, let's see, it's almost 11 to 8. That's 9 hours from here. So 6 plus 9 is 1,500 hours. Would be 3 a.m. Yeah, I think you're looking at 3 a.m. there, Paul Mannion. I don't know if you want to stay up for that or not. MJ Daniel got really sick drinking scotch in the early 80s, and now even the smell makes me gag. Yeah, that happens when you get sick on something. Even if it's some type of food or something, it takes a long time, if ever, to get over that. Arizona Sunflower is cheapest to stay sober because you need to spend all your money on meds at my age. And fortunately, under Joe Biden, we do have some prescription cost limitations, I think. And certainly insulin being capped, right? But there was also the, I think for subscription meds, I think there's a cap on that now, maybe. I'm not sure when that's going into effect, and if it's across the board or if it's just for Medicare, I guess, or whatever. Paul Mania, Christ, I better set my alarm. Mr. Spock, every time I had lots of money, I did stupid stuff, all for being young, partying hard. Oh yeah, that's the story of my life. Jupiter Judy, yes, Roxanne. My mom was an alcoholic, so the smell really got me at one point. Eey. Jupiter Judy, no drinking for me, makes me real sick now. Well, you know, you can just have fun watching everybody else drink, I guess. Say How says Everclear $9 a fifth and an ambulance at the college dorm. MJ Daniel, where I get pot, I just got a 3.5 gram and a 1 gram joint for $9. Good quality too. $9. That sounds cheap. Is that good for like one evening of the 3.5 gram bag? How long does that last you? Because I don't know. I'm not really a big pot smoker, so I don't know, man, what you guys go through, how fast you go through it or whatever. But Roxanne Armfield says rum and Coke did it for me, MJ Daniel. I used to like rum and Coke, Bacardi and Coke, you know. Chris says I would spend a lot of money, a lot less money, if I could get high. Unfortunately, if you live in federally funded housing, it's not legal anywhere. Jupiter Judy, lucky you at MJ Daniel. Wish I had that here. Medical marijuana. Mr. Spock, I get sick off of mezcal once. Mezcal, eat the worm. You're not supposed to eat the worm. And forgot the rest. Still can't drink mezcal. Arizona Sunflowers. We have lots of programs for cheap RXs. Plus, the manufacturers that's prescription. Manufacturers will give you a good price on their expensive ones if you're on Social Security. MJ Daniel at Roxanne Armfield. We snuck in a pint of Bacardi 151 to see Apocalypse Now and poured it in a big Coke. MJ Daniel, last me a while, only smoke before bed now. Okay. Say How says $9 a gram versus $9 a fifth. Nick Rich, I just bought an ounce of 27% THC Ultra Sour Sativa, $90. Even cheaper stuff out there will last me about 2 to 3 weeks. Alrighty. Shannon's Tigre is here. Shannon says 3.5 lasts me 3 days. Wow, you guys know all about this shit. Jupiter Judy says, I can't do sativa. Sorry, can't do it. Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Just can't do it. Not gonna do the sativa. No, not gonna do it. More into the indica. Mr. Spock says, I tried edibles last month. I was up to 150 milligrams of THC and not much effects. Was smoking a bit less, though. Shannon's Tigri says, regarding housing, be smart. Wink, wink. Chris says, 30 plus years later, I can just now stand tequila. I cannot drink tequila. I don't know why. I don't understand, like, you know, between like whiskey and rum and tequila and vodka. I mean, at the end of the day, right? It's all alcohol. And I know some of them, you know, have different proofs, different, you know, alcohol by content. But still, it's all alcohol. And I don't know what it is, but there was something about tequila that would make me violent. Back in the day, I'm like in my 20s. If I got drunk drinking tequila, I mean, it wasn't just violent, like I'm gonna get into a fight. I felt like I was gonna murder somebody. I really did. I felt like I was going to just get a knife and go murder somebody. Isn't that weird? But if I drank, you know, rum or vodka or whiskey or even beer, I might get into a fist fight or something, or I might be stupid and trip over stuff and fall down and knock over, fall into someone's coffee table and break the coffee table. I might do that. But on tequila, when they say to kill you, whoever made that saying up or whatever, I mean, I guess it was maybe I'm not the only one. I really felt like I was gonna murder somebody. So I had to stop drinking tequila because I didn't want to murder anybody or get myself murdered, because that's probably what would have happened, you know. But it's weird how like different alcohol does different things to you, even though it's at the end of the day, it might taste different. It might have a little bit different, like one's made out of potatoes and one's made out of cactus or whatever, and one's made out of something else, rice or something, sake. But it seems like it has different effects for some reason. I don't know. Jupiter Judy says, we snuck 3 quarts of beer into a hospital for a friend with a broken leg. Of course, I carried it. Jupiter Judy, beer smuggler. Chris says, Trucker John, one New Year's Eve long, long ago. Nick Rich says, true friendship. Jupiter Judy. Jenny G says, seen that a lot. Certain drinks affect people differently. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Mike says that I'm a puss. At least I had the decency to call Donald Trump a wuss. I'm a puss. Yeah, I guess, you know, probably. Arizona Sunflowers, different flavors and some burn. And some burn. John, you must be allergic to something particular in tequila. I think they make it out of cactus bushes or something. The Josh, hey, the Josh is here. Good to see the Josh. Thanks for being here. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share, and all that good stuff. Says, I smoke before I hit the gym and then after. Also 5 years alcohol-free. Tequila made me violent also, so I'm not the only one. There's something about tequila that is making people violent. So please, if you're going to drink tequila, just in moderation, or don't even drink it at all. Go over to the Mad Dog 2020. I used to drink that shit too. The Mad Dog 2020. Talk about rot gut. Talk about your rot gut wine. But you know, that was like the early 20s and even high school age stuff, right? Robert Perez. Hey, Robert Perez is here. Good to see Robert. Thanks for being here in the driver's lounge. Says, my weed consumption balances out my attitude with my Lexapro for my PTSD. See, yeah, you know, we can help with those kind of things. Jolie says that tequila just makes her giggly and silly. So there's that. That's funny. The different effects, right? Jupiter Judy says, Robert, I'm on meds too, and my doc is okay with, I guess, marijuana. Booze makes me out of control, and I don't remember. Yeah, booze can be crazy. Booze can be, you know, it can be make you do some crazy shit. That's why I'm an advocate for weed, because I know that even though I don't smoke a lot of weed, and I've said before, I was it a few months ago or last fall or whatever, or I smoked weed on one of these on my channel here. First time I smoked weed in almost like 30 years, I think, and even when I did smoke weed, like back in high school in my 20s. It wasn't as much as I was more into alcohol or whatever, but I can tell you that I never ever once got into a fight when I was high on the marijuana, never. But if I had just been drinking, whether it was beer, whether it was any type of other alcohol, I got into fights and into that kind of shit. So I think that's why I think alcohol is worse for you. But that doesn't mean I like to drink a few beers every now and then, or have a drink every now and then. But back in those days, it wasn't like just drinking a few beers or having a couple of drinks. It was like, no, you party, until you black out, pretty much. Especially if you were at a party. I mean, there were times when during the week, if I was at my house or at a friend's house, where I could just have a few beers and not get all blotto. But if it was a party and everyone was partying, it was just like, no, it's on. And this isn't social drinking time. This is blackout drinking time. That was my mentality. I don't know why. And I can just say I got in way more trouble with alcohol than never got into any trouble with pot. Chris says, unfortunately, federal law doesn't even recognize medical use. Well, hopefully we can get some of those things changed. It's slowly but surely, under Democrats, Biden was able to, didn't he just take it off of the Schedule C or whatever they called it? So that's some progress, I would think. Arizona Sunflower says, I have a giant agave in my front yard. It flowers every year too. And I think they make it from the flower. Yeah, I think it's from the agave thing there. For the tequila. Paul Mannion says, gotta go, TJ and Trugglers. See you later. Okay, Paul, well, get some rest. If you're gonna get up for the debate at 3 a.m. So maybe get a little rest and be ready for it. Maybe we'll see you at the Liberal Dan chat room. And we'll be watching it together. Nick Rich says, I've never had a hassle using cannabis. Booze is another adventure. Yeah, it's a whole different thing, isn't it? Isn't it, though? Jupiter Julie says, I tried to go off meds, and I was crazy, angry, and depressed constantly, all stemming from car accidents that broke my back. No, not a millionaire. You're not a millionaire? Aren't we all millionaires? No. Chris says, my doctor recommends me using pot instead of drinking. Wow, your doctor did that. Says that. Arizona Sunflowers, it's legal here for medical use. You have to have a card to show the police. The policia. Arizona Summer says, yes, Chris, it's a liver thing. Chris says, not on the federal level. Roxanne says, can't do weed, it makes me sick. I don't really like to smoke weed. I've never liked smoking anything, cigarettes or anything like that. So I would rather do edibles, I guess. If I did it nowadays, I'm back in the old days. You know, it was the only edibles would be like you know, pot brownies or whatever. Mr. Spock says that's when I performed in front of royalty on the stage crew of Tattoo 85. Prince Andrew was in attendance for the first show. Gave up SMGs with no ammo to do security when he came in. Okay. Robert Perez, Judy, when I forgot to take my Lexapro, I start to get dizzy spells, so I understand. Shannon Tigri says here in Portland we have recreational. Chris says it's recreational here, but if you live in federally funded housing, it's a no-go. How many times does Chris have to tell you guys? Okay, if you are like a Section 8 or something like that, and you're under a federal program, okay, you could lose that federal funding, that federal program, if they find that you have pot in your possession, okay? What don't you guys get? Robert Perez, I'm not a millionaire either, but I'd be a Republican. I would like to be a millionaire Democrat. Because that's just the way I am. I'm going to buck the trend. Arizona Sunflowers, yes, you said you're in federal housing. That's too bad if you need it. Jibber Judy says, my daughter would ask me, did you take your meds? She would notice my attitude changed. Jibber Judy says, edibles don't affect me the same. And Chris says, I can't go back to living in a tent. Right. I mean, you know, you got to do what you got to do. You know? And, but maybe some of those federal pot laws will be kind of relaxed if we can get more Democratic support. Now, let's see here. I got some more decorations here. Look at this. I thought this was a good reminder. Too bad Mike H has been timed out because he won't see this, I guess. But here you have, in 25 years, only 2 men have organized terrorist attacks against the United States. And we got a little picture there, Donnie, right next to Bin Laden. So there you go. You got those, Trump is a traitor. Let's not ever forget that. Donald Trump is a big-ass motherfucking traitor. And it goes, and it all ties in with this Project 2025. If Trump gets back in, they want to try to destroy us from within and install their dictator. So, MAGA, you're a bunch of traitors. You're following a traitor. Trump is a traitor to democracy. He really deserves to be thrown in prison for the rest of his life, for the rest of his rotten, stinking life. That's all I got to say about Donald Trump. Arizona Summers, same here. If I don't take my meds, I'm a changed woman, but I guess that's why I don't need marijuana. Steve Sayre says, federal housing, wonder if that would change when President Biden changes the marijuana scheduling. Well, that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping for that, and that's. But I gotta tell you, I think you would have no chance of a change if Republicans are in power. And I know you guys know that. But I'm just saying that, like, I guess that's for the record. You know, it's for the record that let's go on record here that any hopes of, you know, federal marijuana legalization, getting taken off the schedule, getting it, you know, approved for if you're under a federal program, you'll never get it under a Republican. And that's why I always say vote blue no matter who. That's why I say that stuff like that. Because your chances of getting the things that you want, like marijuana legalization, like women's health care and bodily autonomy and reproductive choices for women to be able to make those choices, for green renewable energy, getting off of fossil fuel, those type of things, higher wages, better working conditions, all those things. If those things are near and dear to your heart, then you're going to have a much better chance of getting those things that pass through and implemented under Democratic majorities and Democratic White Houses. Under Republicans, all we really see is taxes for the rich being lowered, and we see regulations stripped away, and we just see the fossil fuel industry just continuing to pollute this planet and make us hotter and hotter and hotter. So that's why I say vote blue no matter who. Because the Democratic Party is definitely the one that is more beneficial. They're not perfect. Sometimes the strategies don't work, like Bill Clinton becoming sort of Republican light. And even then, he still did better things than H.W. Bush would have ever done. So it goes back to what House says, the lesser of two evils. If your choices are just the lesser of two evils, choose less evil. And I've always said that too. But the caveat for me is that I don't really believe that the Democratic Party is evil. I do believe the Republican Party has a lot of evil in it. I don't believe that the Democratic Party does have evil in it, but I don't think they're perfect, and I think they make mistakes in their strategies sometimes of trying to appeal to corporate America like Clinton did. Like I said, and even then, Clinton still was way, way better than Bush Sr. Zunny is here. Zunny says, thank you, John. You're welcome. But thank you for being here. Good to see you. I see some calls for Beer Guy. See if he's around or not. But let's see. MJ Daniel, I choose not evil, voting Democrat 100%. Jolie says, Mrs. Kravitz is bewitched. Wait. Mrs. Kravitz is bewitched? I thought Bewitched was Bewitched. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, did someone call? Hey, Nick Rich. Hi. I understand you were asking about me. So, Trucker John woke me up. I was sleeping. Okay, I admit it. I was getting some beauty sleep in. But for you, Nick Rich, I'll wipe the little crusties out of my eyes and make an appearance. Anyhow. Hey, I hope you're doing all right. I think I'm doing okay now. I'm waking up. I'm doing okay. I hope you're doing okay. I hope you're all doing okay over there in Trucker John land. Hope everyone's doing really good. I do see, look at all the stuff that Trucker John's put up. Stuff about fascism and Trump. He's bad like Bin Laden. And there's something up there about unions being good. I like that. I like the look. I like it. It looks good. It's looking good. Looking good up here in this bitch. Yeah. Got some good topics going on, I see. I wasn't really paying attention though, if you want to guys want to know the truth. I was sleeping. Sleeping in. It's happened. That happens when you're, party animal. I've just been a party animal and thought I'd get a little sleep, get a little rest, a little debate resting up for it. Getting ready for. Are you guys ready for the debate? I hope so. You guys, I'll see you there in the chats. Trucker John gave me a water. Thanks, Trucker John, for the water. You're welcome. But yeah, so good to see you guys around. Maybe I could play a little game here and put something up. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe not. Probably won't let me. Don't think it lets me. Let's see. Oh, here we go. What's this one that Trucker John's got? Look at this one. This one's funny. Okay, they're not funny, but you know what I mean. This is a good one. It says, I'd rather be an American than a Trump supporter. Ain't that the truth? Because I feel like you can't really be both, can you? I don't think you can be a Trump supporter and be a true American. Because Trump has already said he doesn't like the Constitution. He wants to tear it up. And then you got the Project 25. They don't want the Constitution either. They want to just tear everything away. Take away all our rights. We've been hard-fought rights over the years. So, yeah. And they want to try to, on January 6th, stop a duly legal election and stop the peaceful exchange of power there. So, yeah, you cannot be a Trump supporter and be really a true American. If you're a Trump supporter, hey, sorry to tell you, but you guys are you're all a bunch of traitors, as far as I'm concerned. Now, I don't want to get too negative. I mean, if you're not already brought up on charges and you're not already in jail or whatever, there may be a chance that you could turn around, you could renounce your devotion to Trump and really try to just be more American and love your country and love democracy. That's my message to you. Just love democracy and stop loving that orange turd. Hey, Paul, my man, stop being such a wimp. Not everyone's gonna come back to the light. Okay, some people are just gone. Some people some of these maggots, they're just gone. You're just gonna have to write them off. All right, I'm not gonna fucking kowtow to the fucking maggots. They're gone. I'm sorry, hate to be the bearer of bad news here, but a lot of them are just they are just past redemption. I think there's no saving them. They're gone. They're brain dead. But yeah, they're not. But I do agree with Paul about they're not Americans. They're fascists. And they worship a dictator, a wannabe dictator. These Jan Sixers and maggots. So count me as being a proud American because I am not one of those maggots. No way. No maggots in this cookie. All right? No maggoty. Hey, Paul got to pick something. I'm going to pick one of these out here. Oh, I guess we'll just keep the theme going. Never forget. Never forget January. That's right. When those maggots tried to overrun our capital, tried to disrupt our election process. Disgusting maggots. That's all they are. Totally disgusting. And they need to be locked up. Lock them up. That's what I say. All right. They have spoken. Tough Cookie has spoken. And Paul the Purple Beard guy have spoken. So, and I think I agree with both those points of view. You know what I mean? I think hey, there's Michael McAndrews. I see Michael McAndrews in the chat. Life goes on. I got my teeth. Robert Perez, I saw a lady in the El Cajon Social Security office wearing a maggot hat. Oh, how I wanted to tell her off, or tell her to go stuff a brick up her ass sideways, but I composed myself. Yeah, you gotta start it. Yeah, you're in the Social Security office, and yeah, you don't want to make a scene over there. Chris says, Jupiter Judy, I advocate for the homeless and poorly educated. Not everyone knows how to file appeals when they're told no. you have rights. Yeah, that's right. Not everybody knows. So good on you for helping people navigate through the system there. The Josh says, Proud American, vote blue. Absolutely. I hope, absolutely agree. Nick Rich says it's 2:22 p.m. here, wherever here is. Vancouver, I think. Mr. Spock says, thanks. Now I have a dream of Genie in my head. I dream of Genie. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I know what you mean. I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about over there. All right, guys. Yeah, it has been well over 2 hours now. So I think we'll go ahead and call an end to this monstrosity that I call the Trucker John live stream. I think I'm going to come back on at 2. Does that sound good? You guys want to take a little break, get a little lunch, get a little things, some things done around the house, maybe take a shower, whatever. Get some lunch, all that kind of stuff, and we'll regroup. Right back here at 2 p.m. Pacific time. I'm thinking 2 because I think if Hal is doing an afternoon show, it will probably be 3, I believe. So I'm just checking to see if there was anything posted about that anywhere in Discord or anything like that. Now, I do see that Andrea posted this morning from mine. This is Andrea's post in Discord. I guess I can read this out loud. I guess it's okay. I don't think I'm doing anything. I'm not doing anything wrong. I don't think. She just says, from Minus Robin, hey, I have been confirmed as a guest for an event this Friday featuring VP Harris. Oh, Andrew from Nevada Dims, I guess, NV Dims, has sent me a link and asked me to invite at least 3 people. I don't have anyone to invite, but I wanted to ask if you know of any sparklers here in Vegas. I want to send it to Hal, but he's probably going or is busy. Oh my God, send me the goddamn invitation, Andrea, or whoever. I'll go. I'm just now seeing this. So I need to get in touch with Andrea. I'll go to that thing. Hell yeah. So there's that. I don't see anything about Hal being on. So today at 3. So I'm just assuming, you know what they say about assuming? It makes a assuming. I was just trying to check it. I need to get a hold of Andrea. I'm going to get one of those invites. I'll take the invite, please, to see Kamala Harris. I know I'm probably not saying it right, but what can I say? I was just saying, sometimes Hal posts stuff on X. I don't see anything from Hal at all. I see Bruce Springsteen. I'm assuming, like I said, when you assume, you make an assumee. Okay, well, let's just figure 2 o'clock. I better get off now, otherwise it's going to be 2 o'clock pretty soon. Okay, so let me just scroll down here real quick. Steve Sayre says, George, I love your rather be an American sign. I'd rather be an American. That's what we should change the words, to that Lee Greenwood song. Or let's make this bigger. Let's be. I'd rather be an American than a Gen 6 traitor. something like that. Go a little something like this. Or something like this. I'd rather be an American than a Jan 6 trader. Okay, guys. Just looking at the chat. Let's go ahead and go call it. Let's call it. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thanks for all the likes, the subscribes, the shares, all that good stuff. I appreciate it so much. Thanks for sharing the show out. That really does help a lot when we do that. Gets the message out so people can see all this fun stuff here. And we can talk about the good things. We can talk about all the good things that Biden has done and how important it is to vote for Democrats. Because if you want good stuff to happen, you go with the Dems. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is, folks. Anyhow, thanks so much for being here. I'll see you guys in a few hours. Let's take a little break. Let's regroup. Let's get some lunch and something to drink, whatever. And I'll see you then. See you at 2 Pacific time. Thanks for being here, guys.
Everybody, have you heard the news? Everybody's gonna be bone blue. Yeah, that's right, you know it's true. Well, it's time to say goodbye. The show has come to an end. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. We'll have some fun times, hopefully nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes, might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about door chimes, but if we did, I'd be only too glad. So hasta la vista, baby. The show is over, but could I ask you maybe to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant, but I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. Now my whole rhyming scheme is all screwed up. Oh shit, I should have stuck to truck driving, who I tried to kid. At least when I was out there driving, I could handle a skid. But doing this live stream, baby, has been a real kid. So I hope to see y'all again right here on the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna do it again and again, right here in the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna come back and do it all again. No, this ain't no dream. This is where we win, right here on the Trucker John live stream. No, this time to say goodbye. The show is coming in. Don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. Well, it's time to say goodbye. The show has come to an end. Don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. We'll have some fun times, hopefully. Nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes, might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about gold chimes, but if we did, I'd be on to glad. So hasta la vista, baby. The show is over, but could I ask you maybe to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant, but I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. Now my whole rhyming scheme is all screwed up. Oh shit, I should've stopped a truck driving. Who am I trying to kid? At least when I was out there driving, I could handle the skid. Doing this live stream, baby, it's been a real kick. So I hope to see y'all again, right here on the Trucker John live stream. We gonna do it again and again and again, right here in the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna come back and do it all again. No, this ain't